that whole remake cycle is redundant. Nintendo have had the capacity to upload these games online since the fucking DS era.
Yep.
They have the virtual console. Fucking use it. Stop being dicks about it.
It's the exact same argument with the Disney Vault. Prior to Disney Plus coming out, Disney films were or the Disney classic, the Disney Renaissance films.
Yeah.
Were held in such high regards. They were only available in certain releases, certain release cycles, and that was a closely guarded mechanic. That was a closely guarded thing that you don't get access to the Lion King unless it's the version of the Lion King that we're putting out now.
Yeah.
So in a lot of ways, this does, like, as soon as they make Red and Blue available on the virtual console, they're not going to see that money come in again. That's their last release of it.
Well, see, that's why. You see that this is why I kind of I won't say disagree with you on that one, but I think I see what your perspective on that side is. But see, there is a difference between playing you're getting a different gameplay experience when you're playing the original, like Red and Blue. They are legacy. They are timepieces, right? You are going to play. If you're like, say it's my godson, for example, now who's really starting to get stuck with his Pokemon now. He's 7 or 8, right? I could.
He'll back up at the top of the town in the Colosseum.
Oh, thank you. Yes, I was going back to the hotel to waste some money, with my female friend. But
can't believe the charge for the hour.
Oh, honestly, in fairness, they're good company. But the thing was, like, so he's starting off that now, and of course, me being the enabler that I am, I'm giving him fucking, Pokemon Scarlet for his birthday, hopefully.
Okay.
Or whichever.
I was going to say, please tell me you're not giving your godson your old Pokemon games.
No. Well, not yet. I haven't given my old trading cards to him, but that's like he'll find more use out of that than I am. Considering
the extent of their use for me was I get to draw them out myself.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing is, like I would say to him, it's like, listen, I will show you Pokemon Red and Blue. This is what I played back in the day, and I had to say to him, like, this wasn't here, this wasn't here, this wasn't here. To kids like him now, they're like, that would be a curiosity of like what is it like to play it back in 1995.
Oh, it was such a mechanical game.
Yeah,
That's kind of what I'd say. Like, even to the point of, if you're doing the box interactions,
yes,
it's such a manual operation to be asked. Now, by the way, where this building is about 10 trainer battles leading into the Mirror Bee fight.
Okay. So, do we have shadows?
There might be a few.
Okay, I'm gonna try and catch up on balls after this battle then.
Okay.
Because I don't want to miss any opportunities. So,
have you any balls on you at the minute?
No, I've run out. I used my last one on Yanma.
I mean, I didn't make a sound there.
You didn't. You're right.
I did not make a sound there.
You didn't.
Mm-hmm.
You can stop making sounds now, James.
Mm-hmm. Oh no.
I think this girl only has two Pokemon. Yeah, so we're okay. We're okay for this one. But I'm gonna go back to the filling station. Yeah. Please do. Wow, show your fucking hand there, James. Holy shit.
That she should have more than 2. Wait, what I have here.
Maybe different trainer.
No, the Fanpy.
Fanpy Trappitch? No, that's all she has.
Yes, that is what. Okay, then this walkthrough is wrong.
Yeah.
So go and. Yeah, no, this walkthrough is wrong then.
Alright.
Because according to this, she also had a Vibrava.
Ah, okay.
Which is why I keep reflect.
Yeah.
Before I keep helping hands.
Yeah, good with that. So yeah, back to my point, right? So when you're playing Pokemon, like realistically speaking, you're going to be playing Pokemon Yellow. You're not going to be playing Red and Blue, right?
Fair.
That's what you're going to be. That is the
definitive version.
Your representative Generation 1.
Yeah.
In the same way that you're going to be playing Crystal, Emerald, Platinum,
yeah,
and dealer's choice and black,
you have
white
to play,
2.
You have to play black before you play black 2.
Absolutely, exactly.
So
So you need to play both of them, right?
Okay, then is it Moon or Ultra Moon that you'd...
Oh, Moon. The Ultra games were a downgrade for me. Because the plot was different. Was drastically different.
The plot wasn't drastically different, it was just different enough to...
But Lusamine...
Bulk up the plot.
But Lusamine weren't the villains then.
Yeah.
Like, the plot was tweaked to basically be like an alternate fucking timeline.
Yep.
And I was like, Grant, I have no issue with that in a sense, because it actually kind of fleshed out that side of it, you know? But at the same time, if you're giving me the choice, like with the power of hindsight and the power of decision, I'd say pick Sun and Moon. Doesn't really matter, you know. Don't bother with the ultras because I think it's actually an inferior experience. The only real kind of decider is like time will decide what games actually stood better. When it comes to a conversation about remakes, right? And the reason why BDSP is a fucking travesty compared to the rest of the remakes. Look at what the remakes did, right? Fire Red and Leaf Green is a completely different experience to Red and Blue.
Yes.
Because it had to be, you know?
It had the mechanical changes to it.
It did.
That had to be brought in. Same with the mechanical changes in ORAS. And let's be honest, some of those did not translate well.
They did not. No, they didn't.
Like, Ruby and Sapphire were made with the physical special not in place in mind as the standard.
Yeah.
Putting that physical special in place and forcing the exact same encounters meant that, like, and same. I know you didn't play Let's Go.
Yeah.
But Let's Go Pikachu, when Fairy type exists, means that Jigglypuff and Clefairy at the start are broken as fuck.
Yeah, but you know what? But that see, this is I'd be more understanding of a Let's Go thing. Again, I'm very negative on the Let's Go series as a concept as well.
I wish the Let's Go series got finished out, or at least for the duology of
Johto. Yeah, I agree with you in that. Like, we should have a Let's Go for Johto. I think that would be the extent of it, and maybe one for Hoenn.
No,
Hoenn got Omega Ruby and Sapphire.
But also, the first two were the only ones that were locked to the Game Boy system. They are a duology onto themselves.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a fair point. But again, it's the same thing where when you're making the steps up, right? Because the steps up essentially the changes were. Where am I going? I'm going the wrong building.
Sorry, I'm trying to find out where
I think
was that. Oh, okay. So, I see what I was looking at wrong. I think you end up coming back into Pyrite Town and you fight that Siphon Pierre Remel. I think you fight that same trainer again.
Okay.
And we'll have a Shadow Vibrava for you to catch.
Fabulous.
At the low 40s.
Excellent.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, then my notes here might just be wrong.
Good.
As to who you're fighting, but I have about 10 trainers listed here.
Do you know what? I'm flying blind here, so I'm okay with this.
Yep.
So,
like, this is a whole region of Po Town.
Yeah, it really fucking is, and it's great. I'm here for it.
Great to see I picked well.
Yeah. Anyway, but like, so for remakes for Fire Red and Leaf Green, it was what was the game played with Dark and Steel types, and the programming fixes done basically. So the game was a lot more balanced. It actually played better. It was an improvement. The Charmander wasn't the fucking like soft lock as it used to be.
Yeah.
It now has Metal Claw, so it can fix that bit. Does that make the game easier? Probably. In hindsight, it makes the game substantially easier. But it was necessary, right? It fixed the problems that were there. But also, I mean, like, but look at the scale here. Would you put, in terms of how the quality of the game, is Yellow ahead of Fire Red and Leaf Green? You would probably say Fire Red and Leaf Green is a better game than Yellow, mechanically. Strategic, like by its bare bones, right? So go again then, right? You go with Pokemon Crystal.
Yep.
Okay. And
to HGSS.
Yes.
HGSS is better.
Exactly. Exactly. This is what I'm saying. The remakes are an improvement on what was there before.
But then there's a question on Emerald versus ORAS.
Now, so that's an eternal question. You see, I think that's down to your preference because I think if
ORAS should have had the battle tower.
Yes, I think that's the kicker for a lot of people. I think mechanically, in the grand scheme of things, ORAS was needed to get Mega Evolutions actually enjoyable.
Yeah.
You know, so it served a purpose, if anything. If you're being cynical and saying, well, X and Y fucked up the Mega Evolution to the extent where they needed to do remakes they needed to make another project to get Megas across the line, then you'd say yes.
If I was to have a time machine and the resources to tell them what to do, the model that they operated where the cartridges were effectively read-only mode. There was no update, no patches were possible on the GDA, on the 3DS system. That did not need to happen.
No, it did not. No.
There were other games. Your Animal Crossings had events. Your Yokai Watches had events. Your things like that. They were able to have patches. They were able to get items added in as needed.
Yeah, exactly.
That could have been done with the 3DS era games.
100%, yeah.
So new additions could have come into X and Y and given that series a little longevity.
Yeah. And so this is where I'm asking the question now, right? So like again, you could say Oras, Emerald.
So you got your heel down in the bottom left.
Yeah, I have it there. It's good. I'm just trying to get into that room there underneath. But
I think you need the lift to go down.
Probably you're right. Yeah.
It said it can't be opened from this side.
Yeah. Well, so you can make you can have a good debate about Oras versus Emerald, but this is where the debate turns. Compare Platinum to BDSP. What would you play first?
True, Platinum I think is going to be the one that you'd pick up.
Yeah.
However, I would still think that there were additions that were brought in that in some ways like improve on the series, like the underground mechanic I didn't enjoy in Platinum.
Okay. Yeah, okay, so underground I accept as a busted flush. But was the underground really something that people were calling out for?
Markbot still loves BDSP because it has the underground. It scratches that itch for her so much.
Cool, that's fine. You know what, that's fair enough. To each their own. I don't think it was enough for me personally to justify BDSP.
The fairy type breaks the region as well a bit. Cynthia's team does not hold up well against fairy types.
No, it doesn't. You just need a Gallade and
you're laughing.
And you win. Yeah, exactly.
And then if the art style was less cartoonish, I think it wouldn't have gotten as much hate.
Yeah, I think people butchered it for the art style.
People jumped on for, and fair enough.
Yeah,
but also, it like a top-down chibi is kind of how they have always done. It didn't need to be that type of top-down chibi.
Yeah, and the problem is when Black and White eventually comes around to the same thing, it's going to have to be inherently the same style, unless you were talking about an Oras style remake. That's a bigger budget, that requires a better studio, that requires better people, and Ilka, I'm sorry, are not them.
Well,
I don't think they are, because again with BDSP they would have
operated with what they were given as their direction.
But they would have made better that mission statement. They wouldn't have settled for less. If they really wanted to be part of the Pokemon family, they would have done something within their framework that would have made the game better. I just think they just did a really poor. They did a run seal job. Did exactly what they said in the tin. But look at this fucking game here. Yep. We're playing Pokémon Colosseum here. This is the best gameplay experience I've had in Pokemon for a long time. This is tickling that part of the brain that has been asking for something new for fucking 15 years.
So, Ilka has made the One Piece Odyssey game as a game that they developed out. I'm just going to show you off the screen here. Here is I've not played this myself, but seeing what the standard that they've been able to put out, if they're given the resources,
it looks good.
It looks really good. They are capable of operating and building out something nice. But if they were given the direction of a warts and all remake, which is what they were given, there was no need for them taking the bottom screen. I think that much was unforgivable as to hey, we couldn't think of a way to have a dual screen showing up correctly, so we're basically making you use a second screen in a way it's not intended to.
Especially if you're using the original source code as well, that inherently has the dual fucking monitor setup. It's like, fuck, you know. And again, perhaps I'm being harsh in the studio in of itself, but again, I'd say, like, you know, maybe they're being sold a pub here, maybe it's a corporate gig, I don't fucking know. Maybe with the One Piece license they had a bit more leeway in terms, because like One Piece doesn't have a massive gaming franchise like Pokemon does. It's still a big deal in of its own right, so at least it had to say, you could say, well, whatever happens, One Piece fans are going to play this because it's, holy shit, it's an open world One Piece game. We're going to fucking play that, you know.
I've never actually watched any One Piece.
I watched a bit of it. It's okay. It's if you like, it's a Japanese cartoon. You know, kind of way. It's you have to accept.
You have to have a mindset for it.
You have to be in the mood for it, and you also have to be very accepting of like the way certain, shall we say, male and female characters are written. Like I went through an Initial D buzz during lockdown because I think Initial D is just inherently hilarious. Like it is literally a mix of like men, like boys gushing over cars, and Eurobeat, which is a genre of music that always feels outdated. It feels, in the 90s it felt like, oh, this is shit, and then in the 2000s, oh, this is shit.
They've got an Ace Combat game coming out this year.
Ace Combat. Okay, that's different.
So I know it's a series that exists, but I don't know the first thing about it.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with it myself now.
And another one called Sandland, Bandai Namco.
Yeah, they're all Bandai franchises. Yeah.
Yeah. Not released yet. It'll be released next month.
Okay, fair enough.
So I'll take a look and see what that looks like. But yeah, I'd be hoping that they're not that their hands aren't tied to you need to deliver something for this release window.
Yeah.
And it can't be too good to overshadow our main release.
Yeah. Well, I suppose that's also like the double-edged sword. Like in a way, I'd rather there was an inner competitiveness between the studios, because at least that actually does drive up the quality of the games. Because again, you look at, do you know what? Actually, we'll talk to you about Generation 4 again, right? I think Generation 4 had some really, really good adjacent games. With Gen 2 to Gen 4, right? If you look, so Gen 1, like what the adjacent games we're talking about here: the pinball trading game, the puzzle challenge thing.
That trading game came out on the virtual console.
Yeah,
very fun for an afternoon. And
that's it. That's it. Done. we shall never speak of this again.
And that might be their worry in like putting things out in the virtual console, is like, we put this out and now we can't resell Red and Blue again, and it just doesn't have the staying power when you put up the warts and all version for people to play.
Maybe.